How many times have you heard players saying, I was winning the game, but I blundered towards the end and I botched it up? Well, I in my chess career have said it so many times and have heard it from so many players that I was winning, I blundered, I was better. And what I realized is that these mistakes start to happen when you are not fully concentrated, when you don't give your 100%. And so today's example that I have in front of you is going to make you think 100%. You have to leave all your work on the side and focus on the position that is in front of you. This is between Sasikiran, who has the white pieces, and Aravindh Chithambaram with black. It is Chennai domination in Moscow. They were playing on board number 1 at the Aeroflot Open in round number 3. And right now in this position, it's white to play Sasikiran's move. And what I want you to do is pause this video, take your time and try to think of what is the best continuation for white. Now remember that when you are playing against an opponent like Aravindh or any strong player, when you spot a good move, you have to look at the defense for your opponent. Then you look at the best move for yourself. Follow it up with a better defense for your opponent. You go on like that, and only when you are sure that this is winning should you end it. I'm going to take you through the variations and show you how what looks really simple when you pass through the game is actually not very simple when you're sitting on the board. So that's what we are going to do. For now, pause this video and try to think, take around 10 to 15 minutes and figure out all the intricacies. Okay, I hope that you took good amount of time. The first move should be absolutely clear for you. This position is winning for white in many ways, but the most clear way to win is of course to take on g5 with the knight. Now you have launched a really dangerous threat on the h7 square, mate in 1, so you must take it. And after knight into g5, we reach an important position here. I hope that you considered all the possibilities for black. In the game, rook into e1 was played, but I am going to focus first on another move, which is knight g6. And this is definitely stopping mate in 1 here. How do you continue the attack? I hope that you looked at knight f7. The other move which I was considering was knight into h7, but somehow it doesn't really work. If after taking, this knight does look a little weak, but I'm not able to take full advantage of it. So knight f7, king g8, and now the move d6. This looks very free flowing. You open up the bishop against the king, but this is where I feel that players often prematurely stop and they do not really go deep into the lines. I think it's important to consider a bit further, like after rook e1, what should be black's move here. So many times when we are white in such a position, we say that look, this is killing, this bishop is here, the knight is going to give a discovered check, stuff like that. But when the position actually comes on the board and the opponent makes a move like king f8, you suddenly have no real good follow-up. Suppose this happens in this position, you do have. So it's very important to consider your opponent's best move. Now after king f8, there are many ways to win, but I think queen c5 is the most clear, because now you have d7 as a threat. Also he cannot really take because this is just very strong. So knight f7 is definitely knight g6 move is refuted by knight f7 and d6. In the game, Aravindh took on e1, rook takes e1, and now came the move queen g8. If he plays knight g6, we go back to the same lines with knight f7 and it's the same. So in the game he played queen g8. Once again, important to look at d6. Now I am sure you all spotted this because queen g8 was the only defensive move to the h7 square. And now d6, bishop to d5. This is called resistance. And when I was traveling around India with Jakob Agard, he said that good players often give the most resistance. So bishop d5, now you need to break down this resistance if you want to win, and you have to do it many times, and if you can do it, you will be awarded with the full point. Bishop into d5 was played by Sasikiran, but I think very strong move was also d7. This is a little bit computerish but very beautiful, because after bishop into b3 you have this very powerful move rook to e8. I hope this makes you very happy, because if you take the queen, this is a pretty mate on f7, and if you take on e8, I make a queen, and whichever way you recapture, if you take the queen, then there is a mate on h7. If you don't take the queen and you take on c2, then knight f7 is a mate. So this is a very nice pattern here. So d7 was very good, but Sasikiran took, knight takes d5, and now push this pawn to d7. And when we look at such examples, we say d7, wow, this looks really great, it's very strong, but just think of this position on the board and you will realize that you are a piece down. You have a very nice pawn here, knight, rook and queen, but this feeling of being a piece down is sometimes so overpowering that you're not able to calculate well, and you give up such a promising position. This should not happen. After d7, what you should do is you must consider your threat first. Of course, your threat is the very deadly rook e8 move, and you need to try to find defenses to that move. And here I would like you to, if you had not thought already in the first position, I am doubtful if you could go so much into the depth of the position. I would like you to consider all the defenses for black here and refute them. So the first defense which I think is very important is knight to f6. You're covering the e8 point and this looks really strong. So there is only one good move here which is completely killing, and that is, yes, queen into c7. Now you want to make a queen here, rook takes, queen takes, queen takes, knight f7, and just win the game. And there is no way to stop this from happening. This is the nice part. There is no way to stop d8 followed by taking something on d8 and knight f7. So if knight into d7, I take with the queen, and this is just winning after rook f8. Now what's the cute little move here? Rook e8. Yes, you got that right. And after rook e8, knight f7 is coming up. In the game, instead of knight f6, black went for bishop f6. Again, a tricky defense, but Sasikiran was very alert. He jumped in rook e8. You can't really take this because after queen, h7 is soft. So he played bishop into g5, and here you take the queen. Yes, well, that's what I like about these strong players. They finish off the game beautifully. Queen went to c6, and this is the move which made Aravindh resign instantly, because the queen is lost. There's an attack on the rook. You can't take on e8. The d5 knight is hanging. There's so many things wrong in this position. Rook into g8 was also completely winning, because after takes you have queen f5, and this knight is lost. There's also queen e5 check coming, so you're going to win material. But after queen c6 that was played in the game, Aravindh resigned and white won. It could seem a very easy combination if you go through the moves like this. For example, you're playing over the moves here, you realize take, wow, beautiful, there's a mate on h7. Now queen went to g8, d6 comes in with a tempo, oh, you take and play d7, and then you play rook e8, queen c6. It looks very easy when you see it, but in the game you keep making mistakes, and this is the thing to learn from players like Sasikiran, that you have to consider the best options for your opponent and then find the best moves for yourself, and keep doing that over and over again and break opponent's resistance. If you keep doing that, your statement that I was winning will reduce and I won the game will increase. That's Sagar Shah signing off from Mumbai here in the Chess Base India studio.